Hey, what's going on everybody? I'm Wyatt Leonard and we're here at Rubberneck Sound taking a look at the DOD Rubberneck analog delay. There's actually quite a bit going on with this pedal, so I'm just going to stick to some of the standout features. The rate and depth knob, it gives you full control over the modulation that happens to the repeats, and you can go from really mild, really soft, just a little bit of background movement, to really crazy, and I actually really like the crazy sounds in this pedal. The next thing actually has to do with the LED indicators. Not only are they LEDs, but they're also controls, and with these controls, when you hold down the foot switch, that's what activates them. Now the first one is called the Rubberneck rate, and this is basically a multiplier for your delay time. All the way down, when you hold down the foot switch, it makes your current repeats go an octave lower and slows them down to half speed. And when you go all the clockwise, it makes your ongoing repeats go up an octave and go twice as fast. The next one is just regen adjust, which is on the next foot switch, and that basically is the secondary knob for your repeats. So you can crank it all the way up and do the, infinite repeat crazy stuff. Or what I found to be surprisingly useful is you can actually set it lower. So if you flub a note, play a bad note or whatever, and you just don't want that stuck in your repeat chain, you can just hold it down and flush out what you have going and start over basically. The final really interesting thing on this pedal is that you have a TRS jack here, which is actually an effects loop for your repeats. If you take a TRS to dual TS breakout cable, you can insert any effect you want into just affecting the repeats. You can add like a phaser or any other modulation pedal, which is really cool. But one of my favorites is to actually add an octave pedal, so you can get these really immense and lush repeats but still have a nice clarity from a clean drive-through. The only real downside is that you're sacrificing a pedal just to use for your repeats, which is especially a bummer if you're using like an expensive octave pedal or something, and you have to sacrifice real estate on your pedal board just for your repeats. So while it's really cool, it's kind of not super practical, but in the studio it can be really useful and you can get some really amazing and inspiring sounds out of it. Which leads me on to this next clip where I will be inserting an octave pedal and you can hear how that sounds. So let's go listen to it. So I'm actually a pretty big fan of the DOD reboot that's been happening these past few years. They started reissuing the classic circuits, which is really cool, but I've really enjoyed the new circuits that they've been introducing. They've been really good pedals at really good price points, so I've been excusing a lot of issues with them. The Rubberneck isn't as cheap as the standard DOD pedal, so I'm going to be a little pickier with it. And the first thing is the soft touch foot switches. I'm kind of torn on these because I know why they had to put them so you could do the whole, hold them down to change effects. But I've had a really hard time with them. I just found them to be really finicky and kind of weird, but I am getting used to them now and learning how to use them well. But when I first got this pedal, I had a lot of problems with them, because when I'd want to go to turn the pedal off, I would just activate the Rubberneck instead, and that was pretty frustrating because you just have to give it a real quick light touch to turn the pedal off, and if you hold there for any bit of time, it goes to the Rubberneck. The other thing that I have a problem with is the time. To me, it sounds like they extended it a little too long, because when you get past halfway, it gets really noisy, which on one hand is nice because you can get really long repeats for an analog delay, but I don't know if that noise makes it usable or not. But other than that, I think it's a really cool and fun and inspiring delay pedal that is definitely worth checking out. If you have any more questions about it, I'll be hanging out in the comments. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.